This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out in association with Shamrock Boxing, and with me via Skype, I'm delighted to be joined by Luton's very own, the English super lightweight champion, K Amber Prosper. Special K, how you doing?
I'm good, my man. Good to hear from you. How's things with yourself?
Tough times, man. Very tough times. Coronavirus situation's not really helped anyone. It's kind of like fucked the whole world up right now. How are you finding it?
It's difficult because obviously I'm a very active person, so staying at home and just twiddling my thumbs, it's not the best thing. But you know, we've got to do to get over this situation. And it's more important things than, you know what I mean, than boxing. You know what I mean, everyone's got to stay safe and stay healthy. So just trying to abide by all the rules.
How are you managing to keep fit, stay motivated, and just, you know, keeping in shape?
Luckily myself, obviously, I'm part of a boxing gym, so I'm like able to go into the gym at certain times and do some little bits of workouts and that. But obviously, it's nothing full throttle. As far as motivation, I just don't think anyone's going to be boxing anytime soon. So I'm not really like motivated to keep fit. I just want to keep myself in some kind of health, and I don't want to blow up and weight. And I'm just hoping, like, you know what I mean. Obviously, it can be overdone with soon, but can't see it just yet.
Let's not obviously dwell on the coronavirus situation too much. 35 years old, this champion, defended your title. Well, if you want to consider Luton and Dunstable the same, you defended your English title in your hometown against Bilal Rahman, a younger Bilal Rahman, a fresh Bilal Rahman, your first title. Talk to us about the performance and, of course, what you made of your own performance as well.
First of all, I'd like to say, like, Bilal Rahman's a good fighter. He's only lost to one person before, who was Keeman Brown, he's lined up to box for the British title. And, he took him all the way, took him to points. Obviously, he didn't win the fight. That's only his loss. The guy's 6'2". He's good schooling, good amateur pedigree. You know what I mean? Even though he's 6'2" and quite slim, he could still punch a bit. So that all considered, I think it was a good title defense. And as far as the performance, it wasn't my best performance. He didn't allow me to do what I needed to do, because obviously him being so tall and rangy, I had to get close to him. And when I got close to him, he was just tying me up, and he was just holding me and trying to frustrate me. And he done well in the early part of the fight. He was winning some of the rounds. But then as he started to slow down, I started to get more of my shots off and started to break him down to the body. And the thing is, I'd say, is he called me old. He said I was past it, but I was the one that was finishing strong, and I almost stopped him in later rounds. So I'm happy with the performance. I've
been watching your fights now for quite a few years, and you seem to be getting better with age. You seem to be getting better and better. The Samuel Mason first fight was good, but your second performance was way better. You know, right. As you're getting on with age, 35 years old now, the first ever Luton's English champion. What have you got what is your plan? What is it that you are looking to achieve, and what do you think is next for K Prosper representing the town of Luton?
Firstly, I feel like I'm like a fine wine. I get better with age. The people that I'm around now are adding more to my game. I'm a lot more grounded, a lot more centered. Before, I used to rely on certain attributes, but now I'm using everything I've got in my arsenal to win these fights. And I think I'm good at adapting. I'm good at learning between fights and in fights. So that's why I think I can always improve, because even if I get a bit slower, I'll get a bit smarter, I'll get a bit stronger, whatever it might be. Always add different things to my game. Obviously, with all this Corona stuff, who knows what's going to happen? But I won the English. I defended my English. The British title fight was coming up, and I was hoping to be made mandatory for the British title. But obviously, if I'm being honest, Akeem Brown and Phil Bowers, they don't really bring much to the table, because they're not big draw fighters. They're not big matchroom fighters. So I just want my next fight to be on a bigger stage, against the hardest person. I'm thinking like the likes of Robbie Davies Jnr. I don't call people out, but there's a couple of fights I actually want, and I'm going to have to start making some waves. So I want to fight Robbie Davies Jr. in Liverpool on a matchroom show if I can make it happen. I think I've done my apprenticeship. I've boxed some decent guys. I've beat some decent guys now, and I want that kind of fight. He's just lost against Lewis Ritson, who's another good fighter at my weight division now. But someone like that, he needs a good comeback fight for my English title and for maybe a intercontinental strap. And he'll push on from beating me if he was to beat me, and I'd push on from beating him. So I'd say if I was going to pick any one person, I'd want that fight, whether it be for the British or for something else. I just want a major scalp so I can push on, because you know what? I'm not young. I'm 35 years old. I'm going to have a lot of time out the ring because of all this Corona stuff. Who knows how long I can box for? So I just want to try and make the most of the little time that I might have left.
You said that obviously now you want the bigger names, and also you want the bigger fights. You want it on the biggest stages.
Yeah.
I think what with you being 35 years old and fighting, most of your career's been down at York Hall, and you've had some iconic nights there. Do you think that might be a sort of stumbling block for yourself and the likes of Robert Davies Jr. and of course Lewis Ritson might think, wait, that's not interesting enough for us. That's a fight we don't want.
Yeah, obviously I think I'm still a danger, man. I think they still think that I've got the ability to cause an upset, and it's almost like, what do I bring to the table? So I understand why they might not want to fight me, but all I can say is Robbie Davies Jr., he obviously lost. He's had a warm up against some nobody. I think he needs to get his name back to incredibility so he can fight for major honours. And I think a fight like me would push him on. So, it's all down to Eddie Hearn at the end of the day. If Eddie Hearn wants to let me fight on the show, even if it was for the homeboy against someone else, he can have it. So I think it's still down to Eddie and obviously these boys' advisors to really look at who's going to be in these shows. I think in the coming months, they're going to want to see some good fights. And I think Robbie Davies Jr. fighting some not journeyman, but someone who everyone knows is going to beat. People ain't going to see that. People ain't got money in their pocket just be throwing it around. So I think someone like me, I bring something to the table, and I'm an unknown quantity in many people's eyes. So let's see what happens when the dust settles.
Yeah, 100. Listen, it'd be a fantastic fight. And like I said, the last few fights, you're just getting better and better. And brings me to obviously my final question. You and Linus have put Luton on the map, and then you look at other fighters such as Alex Bishop that is up and coming as well. Some of the boys down the gym, some of the boys down the Shamrock gym.
Of course.
How happy and proud are you to have put Luton back to where it belongs in boxing?
Yeah, Luton's got a great heritage of boxing, and it's boxing as a sport in Luton is something that's always been a major part to play in the community and building good characters. And I just think, obviously, being a part of it, it makes you proud. But I'll be even more prouder if we can, keep pushing on and bring something massive back to the town, and something that people can really be proud of. You've got the likes of Chunky possibly coming back. Who knows? Maybe me and him might have a scrap one day.
Yeah,
if we can get back to my level. Yeah. Know what I mean? Well, not. It's not no animosity, but I know I'll stop him in a couple of rounds. You know what I mean? Everyone would love to see that.
Obviously, that was meant to be the last question, but you've just kind of said something. I remember interviewing Michael Devine Chunky, and he's said you guys have kind of been like waving the flag, and now that he's coming back into boxing, and it's time for you guys to step aside. What have we got to do to make that fight happen? An all Luton clash, that'd be big.
Oh, it'd be massive. Because obviously we're both from Luton, but we're from two neck of the woods. I mean, he's from Friday Hill. I'm from Stopsley / League of Hockering area. So coming together, I think it'd be a great spectacle. And if I was to fight to happen, he's obviously had a long layoff due to whatever reasons. He needs to obviously get back to just being able to box, get everything signed off, and get all the boxes ticked. That would be the first thing. And I think Michael don't want just have fights for the sake of it. He wants to try and prove something in sports. So I think obviously maybe have one or two kind of get back into the swing of things fights, and then depending on what I'm doing, that fight can be made. I mean, whether it be a gap fight where I can just have it just to keep ticking over, or whether it be for something bigger, the fight can happen, and I think a lot of people want to see it.
Big fights and big times ahead for the English champion representing Luton Town, K Prosper. K, thank you very much for your time. Try and stay safe at this tough time that we're all going through. Keep in contact, and we look forward to speaking to you again, champ.
Stay safe, man. Respect.
K Prosper, thank you very much for talking to Lights Out.
Lights Out.